Linda Cunningham here on the end with Lasqueti Press is her blog. You're a local artist in town, and that's what sort of your blog covers.
Yes, it does. I started it mostly just to, friends and family were sort of saying, well, what are you doing all this stuff for? And so I started the blog so that I didn't have to keep sending them emails. And it kind of took off from there. I have a nice little following.
So what is your, it's a lot of knitting based, right?
A lot of it's knitting based. The piece I brought in today, the lemon that's inside the bird's nest, is hand spun and hand knit.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. And, but I've been getting into other things too. In my real life, I'm an editor and designer, so I got into making unique and limited edition artist books. And then I've started getting into sculpture lately, just because I see stuff and I want to build with it. Kind of what Caroline was talking about with the Lego. I haven't lost that childlikeness.
Maybe some Lego? Building
I could,
yeah. You can go in the contest?
I don't live in Wildwood, otherwise I'd be in there like a dirty shirt.
Well, to back to it, the contest is not open just to children, but you can bring if you're an adult. And this weekend, I've been told by one of the adults, is bringing something that is 7 feet tall, 6 feet long, and 1 foot wide.
Wow.
And
holy.
Plus, it plugs in.
Of course it does.
Well, one thing that is,
I feel so insecure now.
I'm sorry.
One thing that's fascinating about Linda as well too is that she is, as you probably say this as well, you are a Renaissance woman. You're a photographer as well too. But something 4 years ago happened in your life that really has inspired you to do a lot of the stuff that you do today.
Yeah, when I lost my husband, and I had some solo shows that were organized, it became really hard to create after that. So when I hit the road, and that's when I started doing a lot more photography, I enjoy being behind the camera, not so much in front. But
you're doing great.
But I find it a really useful outlet. I looked through the 7,000 pictures or so that I took in a year when I was traveling, and I saw a lot of really kind of interesting recurring themes, and I'm starting to build some of that into my work now.
And another unique thing that you've covered on your blog that you sent me was almost like performance knitting.
Performance knitting.
Oh, nice.
I can't say I've ever met a performance knitter.
Is it to music?
I did a little time-lapse video of the piece, and I scored the music myself.
Maybe a little Michael Bublé too?
Not so much.
But something else.
I had a solo show up in the Ledge Gallery in Arts Commons, and I knit a half labyrinth. So it was a strip of knitting that wide and 80 feet long. And I went in every day for 5 hours, for 5 days a week, for 2 weeks, and knit this thing. And so I shot photographs every 15, 20 minutes of my progress around. It's really kind of an interesting way to do it. And because I was in this glass box alone, and I had all these theater people walking past me up and down the stairs, it's like, performance knitting, and it's like, I never really thought of it that way, but in a sense it is.
Because knitting has kind of come back around now with the younger generation. So did you find you connected with a lot of people that were maybe in their early 20s?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's amazing to talk to people who, I mean, if I'm knitting on the bus and I'll get, what are you crocheting? I'm not crocheting, I'm knitting. But it's really amazing. The number of yarn stores now in town, you see a lot more. This the slide that we've got up right now is an installation piece I did. I was commissioned for a couple of years ago. It's a piece of knitting that's 6 feet high and 6 feet around.
My goodness.
Wow.
And it's hanging using monofilament fishing line from trees. And you can see kind of in the background there are some reclaimed pieces of wrought iron sculpture work that I found on the property that I used to kind of stake out and mark the cardinal points of a compass.
Linda, I get the impression from you, it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. If you're inspired to do something, go after it.
I've been really lucky in the sense that I've been able to pursue my interests over the years and be reasonably successful at it. I know there are a lot of people who, you know, I don't have the time. I don't have the time either, but I make the time.
Good for you. So great having you here this morning.
Yeah, very interesting. Your blog again is Lasqueti Press. If you want to check it out, you've got some great pictures on there of your artwork.
Thank you.